We welcome in the head coach, Brent Vernon, my friend. Congratulations. Twice this year. You guys have dropped heartbreakers to Cumberland's. Finally, you get the 1-point win to go your way. It's funny how things work out sometimes.
That's the first thing I told him, other than I'm really happy for him and proud of him, was you have two, what I think is really good teams right there, who you can't be more even. 3 games, and every one has been a 1-point game where both teams have had a chance to win. This was, to me, and that's from a spectator standpoint, I had to go back and watch film, but I thought today was high-level basketball. I know both teams scored a lot of points, but I thought both teams tried their butt off defensively, and both teams just kept making shot after shot, and that's what March is about.
It was kind of a weird game in that regard. There was so much back and forth. You kept waiting for maybe somebody to fall off, and we just never got to that point. You had the stoppage with the guys collide. It was just kind of a weird, unique game, but like you mentioned, it was fun to watch because it was fast-paced, up-tempo, and you guys were hitting shots, not missing a fast-paced, up-tempo style.
And that's what, it was weird, and I think it's weird because you have two teams that Cumberland is the most physical team in our league and is about as good, if not better, than anybody defensively. And for us to shoot 55%, that's unheard of. And, yeah, we gave up 53, but I thought Ronald Taylor, you give Jordan Griggs a lot of credit. Jordan Griggs made hard shot after hard shot. He was so efficient, scored 30 on us for the second time this year, and Ronald Taylor guarded his butt off. That's one of those, just sometimes you shake your head, you tap him on the butt, and you got to go to the next play. But you had a lot of good players step up. Andrew and Zah, both first-team all-conference guys, did what they did. Hagan, every possession they had, we go down the floor. The only thing you heard Donnie Butcher say was face. They were trying to eliminate Hagan all they could, and this is the first team that's had a little bit of success doing it. And then you look at the other side, you've got freshman of the year, Jahi Henson, who showed why he was. You had second-team all-conference Jordan Griggs, who, we voted as a first-teamer, but he made second. And then you had Calvin Selden, who just couldn't quite get out of foul trouble. And that was a big factor in today's game.
Yeah, Malik Calvin Selden finishes with just 20 points, a Mid-South Conference first-team member today. And you talked about some of the guys stepping up. How about the smallest guy in the contest today? No surprise to anyone that's around him with the self-confidence. It's not a cockiness. It is a self-confidence that Jacob King has. 13 points after missing 8 games, 5 of 6 from the field. He comes in, maybe gets one of the biggest rebounds in the ball game with a host of guys around. He jumps up, gets it, and goes down here and cans 2 free throws like he was shooting, millions all week long.
Right, and here's the funny part. From the day I've got the job, Matt, we've always said we're never going to make excuses. And we haven't. There have been times this year I've sort of been in my feelings a little bit with all the injuries I felt like we've had, and we've never been able to get everybody together. It started with Kevin, then it went to Barry, and then Ronald and Jake. And the thing that Jake did once he got hurt was he was running every day. It was his left hand so he could continue to shoot. I had to get onto him one day because this is the type of kid he is. He doesn't ever want to fall behind. He was trying to lift weights with a broken wrist. But it proved immediately to be a major factor for us. He started all those games. He's been so consistent. Donnie called Mark over at halftime and said, man, he goes, you all were good all year. He goes, you're not 7-7 if you have him for every game.
Absolutely.
And I agree with him. But, those are the cards we're dealt, and we battled and we grinded, and I'm so happy for him to get a chance to play.
One of the best rebounding teams in the country here today. Their season, they out-rebound their opponent by about 8 a game. You get them by 5 today. I got to think that's a number you're thrilled with.
It's the absolute best job we've done on the glass. We always have keys, and we have certain things we talked about. And I never spend too much time on anything. They're self-explanatory for a basketball coach and a team. But I had to talk a lot more about transition defense and rebounding today. I thought rebounding was huge coming into it because they've gotten us on the glass both times. And to not only out-rebound them, but to hold them to 5 offensive rebounds. I don't know if anybody's held them under double figures all year. It's been really close. So that's just showing the type of mindset we had coming into the game. We were very focused, and, we did very good.
To that point, you had one trip where they got 2 offensive rebounds on one trip. So, really, what is even spread out over 5 chances? They had 2 of those down the floor at once. All right, let's walk through some of the late plays. Maybe the biggest made bucket of the game may have been Stephon Adams. I don't know if Nnamdi Van Dome can contest a three anymore. The shot clock was winding down. Van Dome was underneath him in the kitchen, and Zob somehow makes it. But we've seen this out of him all year. He hit what we thought was going to be a game winner in the second matchup with them at home.
And it's one of those, and we've talked about it time and time again, a player who can score like that gets a little more freedom. That one, though, there was 4-3 on the shot clock. He was going to have to. I mean, his shot, though, the way it went in, there's no way you give a 3-shot foul and don't give a 3-shot foul. But, you know, it's hard in those situations as officials. But, man, you talk about a senior stepping up and just making a big-time play. I thought it was very good. But we had, and before the last, I thought everybody who played today gave great minutes. And that's something we haven't always had, and that's something we'll have to continue in the postseason.
Well, Jawan Duran, before I get to that, I thought J.D., again, the numbers aren't great, but while he was out there on the floor, was making a huge impact, not only rebounding, not only scoring, but his defensive effort was crucial.
This is the type of game and the type of production we have to have from J.D. But this, and I'm going to go a little more in depth with this, for us to be good, this is how it has to happen. J.D. played about as well as he could, or has all half in 7 minutes. He had 6 points, 5 rebounds at the half. He didn't score the second half and got 2 rebounds, and he only, in reality, played another 6 minutes. But he was good defensively. He was somebody who kept balls alive. He was good helping our guys get open. With about 4 minutes to go, we were about to put J.D. in. And it was one of those offense-defense things with Dion. And what happened was Dion was playing well. I thought he was getting a little fatigued, but every possession he did something right every time to where I couldn't take him out. And that's what I think a good team does. Everybody's ready to go when their number's called, and we haven't had that all year this year, but this is the right time to start doing it.
And then let's walk through the final few seconds.
Okay.
It looked from here maybe Hagan was ridden down a little bit, lost the handle. He tried to call timeout. They go jump ball. I know at this point this is when you start to get those negative thoughts,
You're
like
right
not
about
again, not again. And 3.1 on the clock. You go over to the bench. What was the message to defend in terms of that last 3 seconds?
Yeah, as Hagan was coming down sideline, we couldn't see from our angle. You know, whenever he goes down, to me, you think it's probably a foul. I saw 2 of our guys trying to call timeout. I was a little surprised by the jump ball. Obviously, I didn't want it because of that. But what we were doing was we just, you know, we thought it was going to go to Selden. I thought we did a great job. They actually were trying to go to Griggs up top, and Ronald just didn't let him catch it. And then they went Selden, and our whole time in our timeout was deciding, do we keep Drew in or do we put somebody else in? And we stuck with Drew, and it worked because as Selden tried to go baseline, Drew just took that big step, and he couldn't go anywhere. And with the time that was there, as he tried to throw it out, it just ran out. Ronald
Taylor intercepted it. The turnover sealed it for the Tigers, and you'll have a short layoff right back at it tomorrow afternoon, and a familiar bunch in Georgetown that you'll see here at 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, conference champions for a reason. We split. You know, they'll be fully equipped tomorrow, which they weren't the second time. But, you know, I think
you weren't either in that regard.
That's true. And I'll say this. I think if you're going to win a conference championship in a tournament, you're going to have to beat the best team anyway, and that's what they are coming into this. So, I mean, I think we're up for the challenge. I think we're ready for it. I'm glad it's a little later than today, even though our guys responded well. It gives us a little more time to break and, you know, have the women take care of business at 1 o'clock, and then hopefully we'll do the same at 5.
My friend, that was a pleasure.
Thank
Congratulations.
you so much. I appreciate it.
Brent Vernon and the Tigers here today victorious. They knock off the Patriots of the University of the Cumberland's final score 88-87. It's a 5 p.m. matchup tomorrow evening with Georgetown College.